Welcome to the Smorgasbord Podcast Episode 65, where we talk about a variety of different topics, uncensored, unedited, and unfiltered. Hope we're all doing well today. I'm here with my man, Daniel. For those you don't know him, which I don't think any of you do, because you've never been on here.
No.
How are you doing today, sir?
Honestly, it's been chill. That's pretty much it. It's just chill. I'm fine. Everything's fine for the moment.
Yeah,
until something goes wrong.
Yeah. Well, Daniel and I know each other back from like middle school. Was it middle? Or
yeah,
elementary?
it was I think. Where did you go? Elementary. Because I went to River East.
I went to River East from 3rd to 5th. Before I was over in Dunwoody.
Yeah, then probably. I probably had seen you a few times, but I don't think
we didn't talk till middle school.
I haven't talked to a lot of the people that I know now. It's till we got to middle school. Like if I knew them from elementary.
That's fair. Well, yeah, we knew each other back then, and he is I call him the king of theater. He's because he's basically like one of the faces of the theater program at my school. We're both a senior. I'll say he's you. Who else would you say would be a face of it?
Definitely Graham, especially because
Graham could be.
Graham definitely because he's like, out of both of us, like we both are very out there, very extroverted, but like he is the most of it, especially because he's part of like the theater council.
Yeah, I would say him. You, would Hannah? Audrey could be maybe. I feel like Audrey could
maybe
be.
Like if
in the future she could be.
Give her next year probably.
Yeah,
but like for now I don't.
I right now I definitely see because people just put. I know when people watch a lot. They put like your face with theater, just like the same way they put my face with band, which is so weird to think about that they made me out of all the people in there. Like, yeah, that's the guy.
Honestly, I think it's because like people know us a little more.
Yeah,
like people, or at least from what I know, very few people know. Graham or Hannah or any of them like that. I know nearly everybody. Yeah, by senior year.
By senior year, they'll know everybody. I think they'll know everybody. But yeah, and we finished. This was kind of this is your fourth and final year is at doing theater for Well, you had one more show, right? Yeah. Yeah, you're doing the play that goes wrong. But for me, this was my first year in theater. I was his understudy for Mamma Mia.
Still fucking going with that.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that whole process.
That show.
So yeah, kind of like through the 4 years you've done theater, because like I said, I was more in the band
for 3-ish.
Well, 3 years. Well, obviously COVID is like a fucking mark, but like from you doing that the whole time, how was that experience?
All right. Started off. Going back freshman year. Yeah. Freshman year, I took an acting 1 class, and we didn't have our current director, Miss Harris. We had another director. Oh my God, what was her name? Miss Howard. At the time, I didn't think she liked me at all. Mm-hmm. Considering that our class was the loudest, not the proudest, but like we were all over the place. Yeah. But like I did try auditioning for a show. At that time, I think it was called it was 100-something Point Flame, and it was supposed to like take place in Russia during some sort of like fire that happened at some industrial facility or some sort of factory. Okay. So I tried first audition, didn't go out so well.
Really?
Now how I knew that was that the director never told me anything about it after the audition. So I was under the assumption I just didn't get into the show. Okay. So whenever the musical came around, I just didn't audition for that because I was still under the assumption if I tried, she probably won't put me in it anyways. Yeah. So that happens. Boom. Come March 2020, COVID. Afterwards, for my sophomore year, I decided to take Spanish instead of theater.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, because
which lined up to be COVID year, right?
So I took Spanish, almost failed sophomore year because of it. Literally had to clutch that, like the final 2 weeks of sophomore year before going into summer.
Puerto Rican, bro? Like how did that work?
Yeah, I don't know how it was like that either. It wasn't that understanding Spanish was hard. It was just getting the assignments done.
That's fair.
Like that was the biggest
I never
issue.
make
Was
it more
like
Puerto Rican.
Spanish is not that hard. There's a lot to it, and I would dedicate to it, but right now I'm like, I have too much to do to really just try learning Spanish at the same time and then just manage that. I would, but again, there's that.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just different. It's even a different dialect because like I had my Puerto Rican grandmother do my homework for me, like one assignment to prove a point. Go in there, bomb it entirely. And Spanish was her first language. She's like, "This is wrong." I'm like, "Why is this wrong?" And it was just like, "Well, like, I'm not gonna take you who reads textbooks versus the woman who speaks it all the time."
All her life.
No.
That's the other crazy thing about Spanish too, is that there's so many different people that speak it, and so many different countries have different dialects. Like one person can say this, one person can say that. It's like, is that not the same word?
Yeah, it's the same word, but it's completely
different.
Yeah,
like, you can have even the same word, same spelling, and it means something completely different to like a Venezuelan compared to a Puerto Rican.
Yeah, no, that language is funny. Language is funny, man. But so you were doing that your sophomore year. You clutch that up. We come back, and then I'm like, yeah, if I don't have to, because what I was told by my counselor was that I don't need to specifically graduate with a language class. So I was like, okay, theater. I'd rather take theater. And that was your first.
And that was my first time seeing Harris. I was told sophomore year that Howard had left.
Yeah.
And retired. I think retired. And then that Harris came in. However, I didn't exactly know who the teacher was. I just knew there was another one.
Yeah.
So then come junior year, obviously expecting this new teacher, and I was like, all right, things are fine. Things were fine for the most part. I didn't know anybody. But throughout it, I then start knowing everybody, specifically Kaylon, Hannah Ehrlich, Graham. I think there was somebody else, but that was it, just those three. And we continued on. The four of us then got into Alice Wonderland, which I got Mad Hatter for. I was actually surprised about that.
Talk that Mad Hatter shit.
Like, yo, honestly, I went in expecting to not get another role because that's how I experienced freshman year. But no, I got Mad Hatter. First year, I get a semi-major role. Don't have to understudy for nobody. I was basically chilling, like.
Yeah. Was you prepared?
Shit, I was prepared. For the most part. Obviously, as the first show, I had to get used to what was going on. I'm gonna be honest, we all stressed when we definitely should.
No, that's
but that's honestly just I don't know if it's just a Centennial Theater thing, but like at the time, we were under the assumption that we weren't going to have enough time to actually make the show. And it was mainly
the case with like every show.
And it was mainly because Harris had to Harris had put all of her focus on the advanced drama show at that time, which I then filmed for.
Yeah.
Which I was like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. That show was dope as hell, by the way.
Mm-hmm. What was the show? What was the other one?
Their advanced drama show, at least at that time, that was... Oh my god, what was it? Do Not Go Gentle. That's what the show was called.
Okay.
But yeah, we were all, like, stressing over the fact we wouldn't have any time to actually do anything. But, like, literally come to show day, like, not everything was finished, but we had enough things to where we could put on a good show, and we put on a good show 3 fucking times.
Yeah, that's good, though. Because, and then going into your senior year, obviously...
I didn't even mention Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago I heard a lot about. The musical was Chicago. And that was when I seen... Because I knew about it because Colin Kennedy was playing the trumpet. They brought him over to play the trumpet part for that, which was pretty dope.
That was dope. Like, every single time it happened, I was like, yes. Just finish the musical, great. Like, it was just...
Would you say your program in terms of, like... I don't know how to word it, because I don't think any theater people will watch this. If they do, thanks.
Keep watching it, I guess.
But also understand, this is also my show. If you get mad, there's a comment section. Go ahead. Like, so would you say honestly, in comparison to your freshman year, the level of acting, the level of talent, all that, did you see as you continued to be like a drop in that talent, increase, or kind of like stayed the same?
Like personally or in the department?
Like overall, like just like you can go personally, you can go like on all angles when you see it.
All right, I'll start off personally then. Last year, as a junior, obviously not really expecting much. I didn't think I was gonna have that production value where it was, or that acting value where it was gonna be that high.
Mm-hmm.
But no, basically I stole the show from our Alice, which was Ava Grindel, as the Mad Hatter for that show. Still my first time, and literally all I had to do was just act as myself. And like, I'm a hyperactive person.
Yeah.
Like if you allow me to go wild, I'm gonna go wild.
Oh no!
Like,
I was there for it.
Like I will go wild. Not even that kind of wild. Just all over the place, hyperactive motherfucker.
But
Chicago, I still to this day think Chicago was our best performance, at least under Harris.
Under Harris, okay.
Like, at the time, the seniors were literally top tier, like, theater people.
That's what I mean.
Like, they were the kind of people you would expect to see on any Broadway show.
Really?
Like, anything on Broadway. And what also helped was that the senior we had at the time, oh my god, what was her name? She played a character in this one next Netflix show.
I heard about her. I've heard about her.
It was Ariana Neal. That was her name.
That's what I heard about that. That's what I mean. Like, because in the perspective of a band, I look at the program. It was already. I guess it was apparently already going downhill. Like from my freshman year, and then obviously like COVID happened, and then both our directors left at the same time, and we had like nobody. We didn't even know we were gonna have a band camp, and junior year happens, and it's like the last of like the people who really had Michael Reed and Ehrlich, and we're kind of like the last people because I had him my freshman year.
Okay.
So once we leave, it's gonna be entirely an Everhart band. That's been like an entirely an Everhart program. So we get Everhart in junior year. Or sophomore year, we get him sophomore year. They leave after freshman year, where middle of COVID happens. Everyone comes sophomore year. Yeah, he comes sophomore year. We didn't really speak at all.
Obviously.
Well, like even because I did see him a good amount of times. When we had marching band, which is just pep band.
Yeah.
And we never really spoke. The first time we spoke was when I felt the pressure of it junior year. Because junior year, because I was behind this dude Anish, who's like a freak at the end. Like he's like you were talking about like the top echelons of what band is. Like that dude was like the band. I remember like the freshman year. Like there was so many people that were just levels. The levels of musicianship was so high. Like there was a dude, he made all-state band on the trumpet as his main instrument. Went back, grabbed a tuba, made all-state on tuba as well. And I was like. But just like there were so many people like that, and it was just like, and we always noticed that it kept going downhill. But I always but they sucked the fun out of it. I would much rather take the band I had now. That was actually fun versus then. So it was always going down. And then this year happened, senior year for me. It was like, this is the first time I actually looked at it. I was like, we can set the trajectory of it back up.
Okay.
Because I just the level of talent that we got coming in, like. Me personally for two was I got Sammy, Matthew. I already had Henry for a year, who was pretty good. Once he outplayed out loud, really really good. I got this dude, Sammy and Matthew. These two dudes specifically. Sammy was first chair in All-State in 8th grade.
Shoot.
Which I was scouting him. I was like, yes, please. Dude, he's like his brain in terms of like music is just so he's so talented. And then Matthew, it was I think first chair honor band. But they're both like they both could be better than each other. It's just a matter who works harder. They're both super super talented. There's so many kids like Noah, Tristan, like the level of talent coming into school was another level. So I think when you mix that with how we taught and the kind of the community that we built after that, we set it up for next year to be bigger. So that's what I mean. Like the trajectory was going down, but I feel like this year it was kind of up and down, and then but we're setting it up to go back up. So that's what I mean. That's what I asked. Like, did you see the program do that? Take dips and like giant holes were made and you had to be filled, or was it kind of like or does theater not work in that necessarily that way?
I wouldn't necessarily, at least for sophomore year, I wouldn't really have much of a say in it because then I just opt out. Even then, I wasn't heavily involved in theater freshman year.
Yeah. So
I couldn't really say much of how things were at the time. I just had to rely on others who were then seniors sophomore year graduating and be like, okay, and what was the difference between Howard that they had for all this time and then Harris that they just now had?
Now Harris leaving,
and now Harris is leaving, and now Harris is leaving.
Right, we go, man.
And now Harris is leaving. Like, it was, at least personally, it was like the best. It's been the best 2 years I've had. Like, it's crazy too because like she's been pushing me to just continue going.
Yeah,
like
that's one thing she's very good at.
She is good at like just pushing people. Like she'll just ask every time, "Hey, have you been signing up for theater-related scholarships or anything of the sort?" And
the biggest thing I say that hers is her greatest strength is her ability to have people connect with each other so well, like unconsciously, like the fact that there's so many like I'm in a fundamentals of theaters class because it's my first year, and if I didn't have band, she would have let me. She said she was gonna let me audition for the advanced drama. Which I don't know if I would have gotten. I feel like I would have.
You probably would have, honestly.
But for the barely any of those kids are actually like really interested in the theater. But the fact that we're all can be friends, she opens up and she's able to have people know each other's names and all that stuff. People that no one really ever even speak to. I think it's a testament to how she does that, and I think it's a really good thing that she does.
Honestly.
So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, and we'll dive more into this year.
Yeah,
because we talked about 3 years. Let's talk about this year. So I don't know if you knew. When did you find out that I was gonna be in it? Because I don't. Because usually for band, I find out who's gonna be coming in beforehand and stuff.
Like into a show or like
show. Because I mean, I like theater classes, you don't really see. But I mean, you find like people get wind of like me showing up.
All right.
Shoot.
I'd say personally, mainly because being in a theater class, it makes it easier because then the director will just tell you, "Hey, go check the teams page of the production."
Yeah.
But I think honestly, at least with Teams, with Microsoft Teams, at least with how we've been doing it,
yeah.
If your student ID has been put into that production page, then you are literally part of the cast or the crew. You're part of the show now.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd say. For advanced drama, because it is a class, you're expected to be something anyways.
Yeah.
But like for that, it's just depending on what are you going to be put for. It's most of the time, if not all the time, you will have the students in that class do both tech and act.
Okay.
But for like the main big productions that include everybody in the school, either it's word of mouth or you check somewhere, check some page, and you just find out. Yeah.
Obviously, the first thing we tried out for was you had Antigone.
Yeah.
And I had to go see it, and I went to go see it, and I was like, I remember watching you, and I was like, this man is fucking ridiculous. I was like everybody, like the dynamics that like shout out to everybody in there. Graham was funny as shit. That was so good. Hannah Herman killed it. Audrey killed it. Sylvia killed it. Ava Grindel killed it.
What was funny? Actually, no. You finish up.
But like everybody killed it. But the levels of which, like, I was like, bro, this thing is him. Like, what the? Like, there was no other way of putting it. Of being like this. Like, if there is a guy who runs the show, it's just because I was like, because you so Antigone, I don't know, it was like some it was off the play off the Odyssey or something like that. It was a continuous.
It was a play. It was the third part of. Oh my god!
It was some Greek.
It was the third part of some Greek tragedy.
Yeah, I can't remember it at the moment, but you were Creon.
Yep.
And I just remember watching you, and I remember like when you really got. I remember the exact moment you got locked all the way in. You panned the crowd, and I locked eyes with you for like a split second, and you continued. And I was like, "Oh, he's cooking tonight." And just the performance you put on, I was like, "What is, man?" I was like, "If y'all don't get me a role like that, oh my god, dude!" I was like, "What?"
You definitely would have killed it if you were.
Oh my god! I
would have definitely have been your understudy if you were.
I don't know about that. I don't know because
all right.
Because we get into that too. Like because moving forward after I seen that, I decided to try out for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. And
it was me, and
that audition was fucking hilarious,
dude.
That audition.
So my audition, y'all. Here's the issue. I go into shit not knowing anything. So, like, I haven't seen Charlie the Chocolate. Like, I didn't know the storyline at all. I probably saw Charlie Chocolate Factory once when I was like 4.
Makes sense. Okay.
I didn't remember jack about nothing. So when I just like look at the script and read the lines, I'm like, I'm gonna read
you
this.
Make up on the spot.
So we read it. I'm reading it, and I'm like, this script is so stupid. Like, I was like, it's not stupid. I'm just like, this isn't me. Like, I can't. Like,
right,
you're supposed to transform. In my mind, with my level of ignorance to the script, I was like, I can't do this. So I'm up there playing the dad for who you got? Veruca,
so basically Mr. Salt.
Yeah, the one who wants to steal the squirrel and gets jumped. So, so I'm up there, and I'm like trying to look at the script, and I'm just like, nah, fuck the script. Like, and I just start improvising for like 2 minutes straight, and they have the recording. There's recording somewhere.
I recorded it.
I remember you, and I just remember like the girl would be like. Oh, I want to scroll down. I'm just like, hey, yo, you might not want to do that. And I'm just like, and then I'm like, and then Charlie, I think it was Cooper. I was making the actors laugh because they were like, oh, he'll be gone. I'm like, go get him. That's my kid. Like, I don't even know what your factory. Get my son, bro. What the like Jamie was acting like that, and then I guess. When people started clapping, I was like, man, they being for them. And I was trying to get off stage. And then the acting lady, I forgot her name.
Weisberg.
Yeah. Thank you. She pulls me aside and gives me an extra script. And you have like 5 minutes to read this. Then I want you back on stage. And I'm like, huh? And then Harris pulls over and said, if you don't apply for the musical, I'm going to be pissed. And I'm like, huh? Like, that was a lie. Like, it was like, I'm mid.
Nah, clearly not. Clearly not. Like, if the director pulls you aside.
Bro, she was like,
if you don't get in, I'm going to come find you.
Yeah, and then I did the role for the one that was just trying to eat the chocolate river. Bombed that entirely. Improvised the hell out of that because I'm like, bump it, I guess. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then apparently I would have got in if marching band didn't happen. Because you guys would have had me, Ota, and Maggie.
Yeah.
But they said we couldn't move the script around. Yeah, not for advanced drama. That was just regular band. But I'm talking about for we would have been in Charlie.
Oh.
But the shows were on the days of competitions, and you guys the same days for practices. So I decided to become the head of sound.
Sound, yeah.
And I wasn't able to come to the show, so I just helped design it for practices.
Even then, that show, that show.
I feel like I can talk about it. Like I feel like people get mad at you for talking about it. I'll say my opinion on it because as someone who went to the practices, bro,
dude,
wallahi. Like
thing is, no one gets mad. No one gets mad. Because we all know it was garbage.
That was the thing. I was like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if there was like a lack of planning in terms of schedules, but like y'all had like 2 dress rehearsals.
We had, oh my god.
And I remember watching that, and I remember like, It was specifically Jiraiya's run. It wasn't.
It was always.
It wasn't specifically. I'm not saying Jiraiya like her. I'm saying like like her group because I can't remember which the name of the group. But it was like when she was Willy Wonka. That run was. Oh, when we first got the dress rehearsal, I was like, bro. People weren't saying lines because I had to do cues off of the sound to hear them, and they never.
As always.
They didn't say it loud enough because Harris said we're not doing it with mics. So we missed cues, we missed lighting.
Oh, we never do straight plays with mics.
I knew that, but I was like, but please project, for the love of God.
Yeah, project.
And like Ava French didn't get off stage.
Yeah,
she
I remember
sat
that.
there crisscross applesauce in the middle of the set for 10 minutes, and then Harris finally like, get off the stage, because I think it was the gumball machine scene, and literally she just handed him the thing. I was like, what is happening? Yeah. Then after because you were the dad, got dragged. Your child, you fell into your thing.
Yeah,
Jiraiya forgot her line, so she stops, looks at where you fall, looks off stage, looks at the group, and just walks off stage. I was like, huh? Wait, what? I was like, bro. But like, from what I heard, it got cleaned up more. Because a little bit. Because
lines, yeah.
Because I said lines. Because man, she tore y'all apart at the end of that. Because at the end, obviously, Harris is like, gotta tell you a note. She's like, dirt, bad. I was like, whoa!
She basically cooked us that day.
No, because she was in the booth behind us, and I heard her losing her mind. She was just like, why isn't this out? Like why is the gate not covered? Like the gate was the prop that they were trying to move off of was hanging out from the side of the stage. The door they're just supposed to walk through. Oh my God, they just slide through the crack instead of opening the door.
My God, that set. Like,
I was like, bro.
The biggest thing, like, it was the concepts were great. We just didn't have. We didn't really even have like the knowledge, or I wouldn't say knowledge. I mean. It was just the way we went about it. I'm like, these are really cool concepts. This is just too much.
That's the biggest thing. That's what goes on to like in comparing Band of the Theater. Like again, I feel like Harris has great ideas, but her execution is not good.
Oh,
her execution in terms of like the fact that like she wanted all these grand ideas and then it's like wondering why we have to scramble last minute when you brought in, not say obviously if her budget can afford that, that's fine, but make adjustments. Which I'm saying, which is fine, which I understand that because band doesn't have that big of a budget like that. Okay. But if you have all these grand ideas and you want them executed, you need more time. 1, 2. If you're good, like there's parents, there's so many parents that be like that actually know how to do stuff. I'm like, if anything, you would start the harder sets ahead of time.
Pretty much all the parents.
Now, actually, I did find out that the condensed time for the musical wasn't all her fault. I found that out. That's actually because of band.
For real?
Because Everhart decided he wanted to freaking host everything this year. LGPE. Our show would have been the same week as our band LGPE.
Bro, the time.
So all that stress we'll get to the musical, trust me. But yeah, like the 2 months, like yeah, because he wanted to take on like Honor Band and all that stuff. I don't know. He said he's never gonna do it again. But like,
good. Don't ever do that again. Those were the most stressful 2 months of my life.
Bro, we'll get to those months. But like, yeah,
God.
But Bernie was like, yeah, our show would have been the week of the LGBE. And we had to condense our schedule because of they were hosting it and we couldn't run our show during that time. So it was the 2 months. And I was like, so I don't think it was solely his fault. But even then, I was just like, bro, why would you still try to be like, we're going to do the most? Why would, like the fact that they'd be like like, my God, that bed. Like, like, okay, so just so we have the people are in context. So fast forward, I get forced to try out for Mamma Mia the musical. I missed the singing day. I'm there for the acting day. I think I was partnered with Cammie, and she sold me. I don't give a fuck. She sold me. She forgot her line, and I'm like, bro. We went over, flying outside. We got on stage. She skips a whole line, and I'm like, and it threw me off, and I was just like, Cammie, why? 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 I was so.
I'm gonna be honest. She do be This is your show, and I really don't even care either. And I'm gonna be leaving this year anyways.
Yeah, we're both.
She be dog water sometimes. The next scene, please.
No, there's a look. I will say this. All right, she you know what? When she knows her stuff, she's actually pretty solid. There's a few people.
That's half the theater department.
That's half the theater department, though. But that's the like respectfully, like okay, like look, y'all can get mad at me all you want. I don't give a damn, bro. Like, guess what? Was I an Oscar award winner myself? Hell no. But I do my lines. But I do my lines. Like, okay, so we'll get there. So we do the audition thing.
Yep.
I do the singing thing, that fun jazz, the dance thing. I don't even get a dance chorus. I'm like, thank God, because
yeah, God.
We're not even gonna talk about Miss West. Nightmare.
Oh,
that woman
God.
is a headache,
bro. If you were in Chicago,
I would have replicated the ending. That's what I would have done. I would have replicated the ending of that. That would have been, because my issue is not her teaching. She obviously kind of knows what she's doing. It's the fact that she doesn't. Yeah. It's like that she makes the choreography, doesn't like it, and last minute changes it, and then wonders why it looks sloppy. And I'm like, it's the day before show. Yeah, I don't like this shape. I want you all to go up there. All right, let's see. You two go over there. All right, do it right now. Why didn't you do it right now? Like, what?
I don't know. I got so used to the other one.
Yeah, I was just like, my fault. I was practicing the shit you gave me the last week.
My bad, G. I was just. Yeah, I was prepared for this one, not this one.
So yeah, so going into it. After I got in, it was either Bill or Harry was going to be my role. Yeah. That's what she said. So it was between you, me, Spencer, and Jeffrey in terms of like.
In terms of those two characters.
Yeah, just who's going to be it was a callback after that week. Because I was like, I did very meh at the first one. And then so we call back, and I was like, I walk into class that day, and I asked her, I'm like, what do you need? Like, why is it close? Like, because I was like, after seeing you do what you did, and taking them, like, why is this a debate? Like, I'm like, why is this a debate? Like, why are you holding out? It's Daniel versus me. If you don't pick this nigga, man, like, why are you, like, what?
Jesus Christ.
So then she's like, no, I need more from you. I just need more from you. And I was like, because apparently from that point, it was so clear cut you, it wasn't even close. So apparently in the callbacks, I guess I did really well there. And she said that's what made the debate close between you and me, who's going to be, like, the main guy.
Who's definitively.
Yeah, and I'm like, it ended up being you, which I'm like, no
not
shit.
Surprised. I wasn't surprised I even got that anyway.
I wasn't surprised at all. I was like, man, come on, yo. Like, if I had showed up, how I was towards the end of the show at the beginning, then I'd been like, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with the debate of maybe. But at the beginning, nah, I was like, come on, yo. And then, but going into it, everybody was like, yeah, this is gonna be one of our hardest. This is a harder show in lesser time. We need to really all be focused. And in my mindset of band, we get told that we're on top of our shit. So I'm like, oh shit. So we need to stay cracking. It's time to start cooking. I spent time learning the soundtrack because we only had 3 music rehearsals.
We only have 3 music rehearsals.
Yeah, and the last one had to be off book. I knew every song that even the song I wasn't in. I show up to that practice. I'm the only one that's actually off book, like I was supposed to be. Everybody else was stumbling through words, had the book open. I'm like,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, either I was not.
No, but I was like, bro. Okay, so I was like, all right, cool, whatever. You know, I'll let that one slide because I'm like, bro, it's music, bro. We'll learn it enough.
We'll get you. We get you.
We get to dancing or we get to the acting, bro, and I'm like, all right, cool. Why don't y'all just know y'all lines? Like, Like, I was like, bro, y'all have been stressing. Like, it makes no sense. It just made no sense to me. Like, y'all, how much they stressed of, like, we need to be on top of things. We need to be condensed in the timeline. And still be, like, stumbling off
I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, they're like,
Line?
Yeah, line. I'm like, huh? What? The show's in a week!
Your script is in your hand.
No, I was just like, bro. And then also, like, because, I'm sorry. Again, if y'all mad, y'all can kiss my ass. Y'all so fucking sensitive. Oh my God. Y'all are so, oh my God. No, y'all, like, you can't criticize nobody. You can't even help nobody.
I never even criticized anyone, and I still like.
No.
Right, to put it this way, we had a system called respect report.
It's snitch hotline.
Basically, if you want to be a pussy, there you go. There you go. You right? There you go.
Yeah,
Write a respect report.
So you couldn't. So yeah. So pretty much. No one, people, when you went ahead and you were like, I feel like someone's just disrespecting me, you file a respect report, which is okay. If that actually happens, cool. But some of the respect reports
were a little like,
were so he hurt my feelings. Like, what the fuck?
He hurt my feelings.
Like, or like, if you say, or like when I was like trying to be like, yo, dog, if you do this, that, and the other, this will probably help your shit. They'll be like, it's an attack on them as a person. And I'm like, look, I understand that because it is a theater. I say all this with understanding. Because when you do a theater, it's not as team-oriented as marching band is. Marching band is very, while you can be self-conscious on your personal performance, there's still a networking that you need to focus more on and working all together. The issue was that theater kids didn't know how to work together. They were so focused and self-absorbed in their own performances, which, again, at the end of the day, if you just know your part, you're fine.
You're fine.
They never even took time to learn their parts, so when they got mad and they were like so panicky and finicky about other people's stuff, and I'm like, bro, if you know your part, that's it. I knew I was off book a month before the show.
Yeah,
I was like, bro, if they had told us to step up now, we're good. It's just a matter of like, bro, do you know your stuff?
She even Harris even admitted main cast, if any of y'all get sick, we're good.
Yeah, she was like,
we're good.
She said the chemistry between the
understudies was better than the main
because all right. Do we want to name drop?
We've already done that so far. I mean, what does it matter?
Okay, the chemistry between I don't know. Graham and Megan were fine. I feel like they were weird, but they were fine.
They were fine. Like
you and Ava was hit or miss. I feel like.
Like, I tried, and I was like, yeah, I understand this is playing pretend.
Yeah.
And, like, okay, I'm not in love with you. I'm in love with Rosie.
Yeah.
I was even, like, prepared for, like, when it was supposed to originally be a whole makeout session on the stage. I was like, I'm prepared for that. I don't care.
That was
I've made out before, so it's whatever.
That was the whole thing. They literally said, are you comfortable with kissing on stage? I put no. Yeah, you still got to make out right away. And I'm like, what?
Did y'all do that for the understudy room?
No.
Figured.
We agreed. I said because I was trying to hatch out a plan to make it look funny and still comically creative, and I was like, my idea was okay. We take a hat when she does because she does the funny thing where she dips me. I do the thing where the classical thing. We're gonna do that, but after we did the spin, I just went in front of her and then just covered it up like that, and we faked around. We faked it, like that. So we faked it, but like. Yeah, but then what was the worst one? Wasn't it like Avi and
Avi and Audrey? Avi and Audrey. Yo. To lay it out. If
anybody sees this, by the way, I'm not making fun of any of them. I'm just talking about the show. If y'all want to get mad at me, you can. I'll say this. I'll say the same thing to you in person as I said on here. I promise you, it's not personal. It's literally called. We all knew what it was. Let's be adults about this, okay?
Oh my God.
I doubt you're gonna see this, but just in case, I have to put the disclaimer because y'all be like in y'all feelings sometimes, okay? Listen, y'all can shit on me. I don't care. I'm leaving. Like real. Even if I wasn't leaving, why are you sad about this later? Yeah, and I meant it. That's how you get better. People told me I suck all the time. That's how I get better. Like, what?
Even now, personally, I'd still be like, Harris would still be mentioning something that I'm doing wrong, I'm like, all right, I'll change
Yeah,
it up.
I asked her.
Like she'll say, no, you do it this way. I'm like, gotcha.
The amount of times I've come up to Harris and been like, bro, how do I do this? Da, 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 da. She's been like, do it like da, da, da. I'm like, all right, cool, and I do it, bro. Like the amount of times I've done a movement and she made you adjust to me was so weird too. Like when
thing was the one movement before the song, I liked it too, and I thought it was better than whatever that shit. Yeah, she wanted you to be
like, ooh, I hated that. I was like,
that's not Bill.
Yeah, I told Ava Grant, I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I just told her, I promise to God, I'm not going to do that. She yelled at me. I'm not doing that. And
then she didn't. She looks at me and like, dude, I like that better. I'm like, yes,
thank you.
I like it better too. Like, I didn't even say anything. I was just like, I like it too.
Yeah.
So I did, and I was like, this makes a lot more sense.
That just saved us both so much more embarrassment.
Because like, I was like, that did not feel like the character at all.
I was like, dude, they just made him like much more like creepy, and I was like, it's not meant to be like that. It's meant to be funny. It's not meant to be.
The creepy one is Sam Carmichael. Like, come on.
Oh God. So yeah. All right. So okay. Another thing.
I wanted a little girl, and a big one's even better. That fucking line. God. I always wanted a little girl, and a big one's even better. Like, oh, all right. Who do you?
All right. So okay. So we're going through the show, and another thing that was a grievance of mine. Okay, because I'm gonna give you some pros at the end too. Calm down, theater kids. Don't worry. I'll give you your positives.
There are tons of pros.
There were a bunch of pros. I actually had a great time. Some of you guys are fantastic people, but the rest of y'all,
dog water.
Not even like an acting on a people level. I'm not even talking about acting. So, one thing that gets on my nerves. One thing I respect is. When you have the a lot of people when they're art, they lack confidence to do certain things, which I understand. I understand, but that timidness it can be seen, especially in acting. My whole thing is if you have the confidence to say, oh, I know this stuff, I know you have that, even a little bit of arrogance. I absolutely respect that. I actually respect if you are the man and you know. I was like, man, talk your ish, because guess what? None of y'all can tell him otherwise. I absolutely understand that. However, if you are dirt and you are out there trying to direct other people,
sit down.
Who are you?
Down.
Like, okay, so, because again, if anyone knows who I am from band, you know that when stuff gets hectic and people need to pull rank and need to actually lead stuff, I'm always end up being the guy, and I end up getting loud and cussing people at people. I don't try. I trust me. I don't try to be. Which is I don't know how they don't hate me, because I'll be like, we'll be chilling and I'll be like, hey yo, grab that shit, let's go, man. No, I'll snap. I won't snap, but I'll be yelling at them like that. But they'll all be cool with me. In theater, they couldn't do that.
No,
because there's too sensitive. So I was like, all right, let me pull it back, and also I'm letting them run the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. I can't take over.
I'm here to work.
So I'm here to work. I'm here to do my part. I did my part. I was ready. They were like, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "We can do the show tomorrow. I'm ready." Like, I know I'm ready. So, I feel like we can't. The three people that we talked about, one of them just didn't show up. So we can't. So I was just like, "Bro, you didn't show up. Okay, whatever. It didn't really matter."
I'm assuming. I don't care if I drop names either, really.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let you drop names.
I really don't. I'm under the assumption that would be Zoya, because
she was sick for a while.
Avi was there for.
Avi was there. He would just leave early, but he was there.
I remember that.
But like, Zoya got sick really bad though, and I was just like, God damn, what ended up happening? But she would like barely be there, and then would like, I guess what she. And I had no issue with her personally. It was really more of like what she just kept trying to change the dances with.
Did she?
Or what was the issue with her though? Because I never had.
Personally, I don't even know if there was any issue with Zoya.
Because I know it was three people. Because it was Zoya, it was Cammy a little bit, but again, I barely spoke to her. She was just kind of like.
Yeah, it was.
She was just kind of an asshole to me.
It's usually just that. It was just like like the way she goes about life. Like she looks like she really, really wants to yell at somebody. Really want to cuss somebody out, like
her
her expression most of the time, even like just throughout the day.
She has heavy
like because I
RBF.
have lunch with her.
Yeah.
Like my lunch period's with her. I don't talk to her, but
Yeah,
I still like see her in the cafeteria. And like looking at her, she looks like she is tired out.
I don't know.
Or like
okay,
she took something.
My whole thing was she was just so unnecessarily just assholey for no reason. Like I don't know
what it was about.
I don't know why. It might have been the teenage angst because she's a sophomore. She was it just again the arrogance of theater kids is a little bit different, and I understand that.
Bro, the arrogance is on high.
But again, if the talent and the skill level don't match the ego, if I could have, I would have called you and I'm like, y'all are mediocre. Not saying her. For her, I didn't see. I only knew her for just dancing.
Generally, everybody.
Yeah, she just had no. I'm talking about on a general level playing field. Like, Cammy had really no lines. She was more dancing, and dancing she was pretty solid at.
Yeah,
she was actually really really good. And I give her props for that. She kept trying to assume leadership roles, which I'm like,
that is problematic.
That was the issue. I think that was the big one. She was trying to. She added one of the dads to a lift, and I'm like, if you tell this lift again. It makes no logical sense, but no, it ended up working. Yeah. So hers constituted results. I ain't mad at that. I'll take that. I'm like, you know what, Cammy? You kind of an a-hole to me sometimes, but you get the job done.
You a bitch,
so we'll take at times. At times you can be, but you I don't know you like that. We'll probably never talk after this. You'll probably never see this, but I respect that. So yeah, you weren't there. I respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think there was any, personally and largely, there wasn't really much problems with Zoya.
Yeah, it was more the girls had issues with her. The other girls had issues because she kept talking that big shit behind their backs, which is another thing that y'all do. Y'all have a horrible, like, because no one confronts each other.
I'll admit it too. Sometimes I am like that. I will admit sometimes I will be
everybody
a bit of a pussy. I'm like,
everybody they talk behind each other's back. I meant to ask you, who talks shit about me? Because I do want to know that.
I heard nothing.
Really?
Not really. No.
Really?
It was just and I was involved in this too, but nearly everybody was. All of us. I'm gonna look at that damn camera.
You talking about us. Oh yeah, the cast.
All of us. The cast ball. I kicked that off. So
they were like. So I guess. Yeah, we were playing. Time. So we were at a cast bonding party, and they were like, we were playing on Truth or Dare, and there was like, who's someone that you don't like. But it was to someone else entirely. God. And Dale just walks
come out. No hesitation. Avi.
Yeah, I was like,
no hesitation. Avi.
And I just start dying laughing, and then everybody just goes on rants about
Avi.
And I'm like,
and then it led to Cammy, which honestly,
that was more
generally that was more of like people had personal
it had
issues with her. Largely, I don't think there was anything because I didn't see anything with her. I just thought she was
I just thought she would just be mean at times, but I guess besides that, I just don't like my problem solved. I don't talk to you anyway.
Whatever.
So yeah, I never speak to. Avi again, I never spoke to, but he was kind of the one that we don't like, that people didn't like.
Not really, no.
Me personally, I don't give two shits about him. I swear to God, I don't like. I swear, like that sounds mean. I don't care.
I think it's coming across as that, but like honestly, anyone who does understands, like he just doesn't care.
My
doesn't
life,
have anything to him.
My life doesn't revolve around that process or anything. So like,
so
the biggest issue was him because when I first seen him, I didn't know him. I saw him off of Charlie, and I was like, holy shit, this dude's pretty. For the character he got, he was actually really, really good. I was like, holy shit.
The fucker himself. Like
I was like, that was good. So I was like, he's pretty good.
He is a performer.
When he
literally,
when it fits him, I'm like, that was great. Like he did the whole flip with the cowboy thing on stage. I was like, that was awesome. So fast forward to Mamma Mia, and he's Sky.
Main love interest, basically.
Yeah, the main love interest of the other girl, and his acting style. Me personally, I thought it wasn't good. I thought, and that's just my opinion. Like I said, if you ever see this, I doubt you will, but if you see it, bro, it's not even that serious, bro. You're a junior. It's high school. You'll live.
It's whatever.
And it's so, and part of part of a musical, obviously, is singing.
Oh.
A lot of the people in cast, I will say, were so rough around the edges that 3 practices was not enough. So much so that a lot of people didn't even end up singing. And on top of that, they ended up cutting out ensemble, which is a lot of the background voices, out of the music entirely because of this issue. This is not me being an asshole. This is what happened. We got cut out because people don't know how to match pitch. I'm sorry. That's just what it is.
I think one of the songs that was supposed to be ensemble, and
the second half of the show was cut out.
Bernie went through it and was like, this one's, before we even started, she was like, this one song will not have ensemble.
Yeah, it was
Chiquitita.
Yeah.
I have forgotten which song it was that she cut ensemble from, though.
It was multiple, because she cut us out of Slipping Through My Fingers. She cut us out of Dancing Queen.
That one, obviously.
She cut out Dancing Queen. She cut out... She didn't cut out Mamma Mia. She cut out...
Oh, no.
Money, 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 I want to say she was going to, and she let that ride. But it was more the second half of the show. We didn't come back until I Have a Dream.
It was a lot of the more, if it's simply between 2 characters, an ensemble aren't
Our Last Summer, she cut us out. Our Last Summer, she cut us out.
Did she?
Yeah, our Last Summer had ensemble. Because
I remember singing that.
Because I remember she was like, I still see it all. Because she wanted us to hit those notes as guys.
Yeah, she wanted us to hit.
She wanted to hit above the staff, and I'm like, bro, I'm literally the deepest voice in here. What are you talking about?
The highest I'm gonna go is.
That sounds good. Would be yeah. But the singing was rough as shit. Rough, me not being in the chorus class and me being on pitch, arguably one of the more consistent people, because there's obviously Maggie, Megan.
The guys actually...
The people that are in chorus. Ava French, Ava Gright, all the people who do chorus, who do singing. Yeah. Graham started off rough. He improved pretty well. And when he wasn't able to hit notes, he adjusted well. I respect that.
Yeah.
Avi's issue with me, in terms of that, was that his singing was very rough around the edges. Yes, it got a lot better towards the end of the show, but it's still pretty rough. He never adjusted. Whenever people tried to help him that wasn't Cammy or Zoya, he kind of looked at us like, you're not supposed to give notes. But the biggest issue I had, the only run-in I ever had, and this was kind of where you guys all saw me finally, marching band me hopped out for 2 seconds.
Literally right before show.
It was the day of opening show. There's this dance where it was Lay All Your Love, and we were supposed to get flippers. And Harris, and going back to Harris's poor planning at times. She never told us that they arrived. She was like, you guys should have been practicing from the jump. And I'm like, you never told us they were here. So we finally get our hands on them the day of show. And they're not even in my size. So we're practicing.
Yeah,
we're
trying don't even have them.
And whenever you step, obviously, if anyone's been any scuba diving, any swimming, those things are loud when you walk. We're supposed to sing and dance and not do that. We're going out there. And every time you do the song, we're supposed to sing in an octave up. And that's what Bernie says.
Yeah.
Cool. We all understand that. We're trying to figure out the dance. And Avi always kept yelling at us throughout the whole time we're doing this, singing the octave up, don't go the octave down, when he's the roughest out of everybody. So I was like, and no one said anything. This was a build-up for months, and I was like, bro, if he says something again, I'm going to say something. And if I get respect and point, I don't care.
So I didn't care.
So we go out there, we're trying to figure it out. And he then just starts yelling at us. And he's like, guys, you have to sing it the octave up. Bernie said sing it the octave up, and I'm like, so I was like, and no one says it. Everybody kept looking at him, but no one said anything. So I thought it was just bro, it's not that serious. We're trying to worry about the dance right now. And he's like, no, Michael, it does matter. And he got loud with me, and I was just like,
that's not sliding.
And I was just like, Avi, I don't give up about that. Shut up and let's get it done. I don't give a damn about the thing. And the whole hallway just gets quiet.
Obviously you didn't say it like that. I remember you were more tame with it.
It was stern. It wasn't a yelling. It was just stern. Avi, shut the fuck up. I'm talking about the dance right. Nobody give a about no octave right now. And we got quiet. Nobody moved. And I look at Hannah, and I'm just like, Hannah, come on, bro. I'm not doing this all the time. I'm not wasting my time on this shit. And
scare Herman like shit.
Did she ever talk about that?
No.
Because I wonder what...
But I'm sure she was also startled by it, too.
Because everybody just looked at me like, oh, shit. And I was just like, bro, I'm not doing with that shit.
I looked at it, I was like,
Avi would not talk to me. Like, look, Avi never talked to me before, but he would not, like, acknowledge my existence after that moment. Because I was like, bro, I don't give a about that, bro. I was like...
We're trying to learn... Even then, like...
Because it was...
How are you supposed to dance like this? And it's a very quick dance. Like,
yeah,
it's
more,
short, but...
Bro, we need to work on choreography, and he was trying to harp on that, and I'm like, bro, you doing that is impeding the progress of the group, and you are a hazard right now. So I'm gonna need you to please just silence. And I was just kind of like, bro, if Harris come to me, I'm gonna tell him like, because I was prepared for me to get yelled at, and because again, anything I say to them, I'll say here, I'll say to teachers, I'm like, yeah, no, he's been an issue the entire show. You don't do anything about it because these kids are too sensitive. You tell them anything, they're going to be like, and
I don't know, if I was director, it'd be very different.
Yeah, and so my whole thing was just like, if she were to come to me, I would have been like, no, you were trying to do something. He was impeding upon our progress. There's no, we told him respectfully multiple times. He doesn't listen. At the end of the day, that's what it is. And when it comes, and so that was the only time marching band me jumped out because I really could have. That was
the only time.
Because I really could have been like, you don't shut on my face, bro. And just let's get this done, bro.
Even if you went at it like that, I honestly even though you like didn't necessarily cuss.
Yeah.
When you said it,
I cussed when I said it. I cussed when I said it because
I guess I didn't hear the whole thing. All I did was like, yeah.
I cussed when I said it because I remember directly telling him, I said, "Shut the fuck up."
I didn't hear that.
I said, shut the fuck up. Anybody give a fuck about no octave right now. We're trying to worry about a dance. I said, come on, bro, let's get this shit done. I'm not trying to be out here all fucking day. And we walked back, and then Sammy was in the way, and I said, because Sammy's a band kid, he's my understudy. He was like my homie. I was like, I can talk to you whoever I want. Get out the way, dog. We trying to get this shit done. Dog, you know how this is. This is marching band shit. Get out the way. And then we got shit done, and I was like, bro, if I was allowed to do something like that, like so many issues that they were trying to coddle people through would have been solved. It would in terms of transitions of sets when it came to like the bed, people would have to repeat so many instructions. She'd been like, yo, grab a corner of the bed, push it some way, grab it, fucking move. Like it's just no one had the assertiveness to lead in those moments, which everybody said that. That's not even me saying that.
Honestly, I would have, but you know, as a main character.
But no one had the voice. Like no one had the voice to really no one's voice. I guess commanded enough room to be like, yo, shut. Let's get this shit done. Like I don't know. Like going from that to like going from Everhart to like Harris. Here, I'm like, dog, y'all wouldn't last a day because Everhart will tell you.
You mentioned that more than once,
dude. Because me and Maggie all said it. We were like, bro, like what they constituted as getting yelled at. Harris, at her height of her anger, would be Everhart's baseline. Like Everhart would just, in the most simple way, be like, "Yeah, no, you guys sound pathetic." Sounds straight. Right. He'll say, he's told us before. He said, "Y'all sound anemic. Y'all sound like this. I'm telling you this way because I want you to be better." Because no one's pulling that out of them, and that was kind of the biggest issue I saw crossing over. Because I was like, when me and Maggie would talk about it, we were like, "Bro, the conditioning was so lackluster." And I'm like, and again, this is coming from band kids. Band kids ain't exactly no 5-star recruit athletes themselves. But we ran a dance 2 times in a row and y'all already huffing and puffing? We get through our warm-up and you already just, besides the people who obviously were active, like Graham and Hannah, obviously, and then, like... It was just...
That's all I'm just going to say.
But even, it doesn't even matter about physique. It just matters about, like, bro... Y'all talked so much about investing into the show. It was going to be this big thing. And And then it came out there, and what ended up happening? We had, like, the fact that Jay, who was a freshman, was arguably the best performance.
Arguably?
I'm saying that to be nice. I think if you have to give me because
Michael, we haven't been nice this entire time.
I think Jay, if we have to go name your top 5 performances, like
Jay is on that list.
Jay is
either second
or third. From understudy or
first shit.
Understudy or like anybody from the acting. Top 5. Give me your 5. From the understudy, including the main cast, everybody. Top 5 performances, like, from any of the shows. What, like, Because I got Jay debatably like clear cut.
I'm saying Jay second.
Who was first?
It's between Megan and Maggie.
Oh shit. Oh. I definitely got Maggie.
Now, the issue with it is that like I definitely would put Jay one. One. Motherfucker can sing.
Yeah, no, he barely had any lines.
Motherfucker can dance.
And he can
3,
act.
motherfucker can act.
Hey, shout out to Jay. You said, bro, Jay.
If you listen
for
to
Jay to be a freshman
and then do all
and
that,
be just so clear cut, like when you went up there, you saw Pepper, like full transformation, character, everything, like just so in there. I was like, bro, there's no reason you should be this good coming in. Like, by God, if he keeps up with that by senior year,
he definitely will. Oh my God,
he is going to be insane.
I'm going to all the shows that they will have, and if I don't see Jay, I'm gonna be like, where the hell is Jay?
Bro. Yeah,
where the fuck is Jay?
Because I got if I would put top 5, I put Jay, I got Maggie. Megan was like goddamn best singing by like a mile. Like Audrey was good, but I feel like she kind of freaks herself out sometimes. She kind of gets in her own head sometimes, which a lot of them do, but I feel like hers, it was more apparent.
Jay was also another one of those. I'm like, how are you this stressed?
I would say
fucking goated.
Yeah, Jay was like, I'm so bad, and I'm like, you're arguably the best one here.
Jay, out of most, if not all of us, you're going to Broadway. Shut up.
I was like, what are you talking about? And then I got in no particular order. I got Maggie, Megan, Jay. I ain't gonna hold you. Who else would I put up there, man? Oh no, I feel like, bro. I low key. This is gonna sound so arrogant. This is gonna be so bad. I feel like I'm up there. I feel like I'm like debatably 5. Cause when I had
I could say yeah.
I could say 5. Cause in terms of like all levels, in terms of singing, dancing, all that, like all 3 levels. And that's what I'm talking about. All 3 levels in terms of entertainment, because when we did
entertainment shit.
I'm talking about entertainment. Like Jay was entertaining, Maggie was entertaining, Megan was entertaining. When I got the understudy run for Bill and I had that place shaking, I was like, yes, thank God. because I meant to ask you, because I was like, what did you think about my performance? Like, honestly, like truly honestly, what did you think about my performances, like overall? Like from leading up into the show, and then when I finally did my understudy run. Like leading up, what did you think about it? Like honestly?
Honestly, it might have to wait because I need the fucking bathroom.
Fair. Oh yeah, top 5. So
it was top 5, and then we went into.
Okay. So in no particular order, I got Jay, Megan, Maggie, you, and then me.
Yeah. I
think Jeffrey would have been up there. Graham improved a lot. I was very proud of his performance. In terms of best chemistry, I think Charlie and Jay's by far. Charlie and Jay were so good as Pepper and
oh my God, their friendship even
who's
outside.
His character? Pepper and Eddie. Yeah. No, they were
like their friendship even outside. Like
I
could tell like their chemistry on like the New Orleans trip was like this is Pepper and Eddie. Just replace their names with who they actually are. It's like it
was just so natural. It was just so like easy for them. It looked so effortless, and I feel like that's what I look at when I look at all 5, and I'm like, because again, for that being so we're talking about our top 5, and then now I'm asking you, in terms of leading up to the show, how were you feeling about how I would do, and then when you were seeing me do my thing out there, honestly.
So, the one dress rehearsal where we did understudies, and Harris blurts out saying, if any of the main cast gets sick, we're good. I was like, okay, yeah. And then come understudy run, I was like, yeah, makes sense. If I go sick, I'm good. Bill is good. Like, if I somehow get sick,
I was like,
y'all are in good fucking hands.
I was like,
because that was a really good performance. Like, everyone was just backstage.
Yeah.
Everyone was like just dropped down on on their chest, just laying down, trying to look through the main curtain to see how it was going because the crowd was going wild.
See, that was the weird thing. I could barely hear them. I swear to God, I went up there. When I first went up there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to make these people laugh, so I'm gonna see what I can do. This is my one moment where it's just me.
Yeah,
I gotta make this count. I go up there, and we start doing the thing, and I start running around, and as I'm beginning to do it, and I know I'm being ridiculous with it, and it's like I don't hear anybody. I hear like one laugh. I maybe hear like one or two laughs, but I'm thinking this shit is bone silent. So I'm like, shit. So I go ahead and go be 10 times more extra, and like so much so like I think I improvised and I missed like 2 spots, and I just made it, which made it so much more funnier because I was just like on the opposite side of the wreath, which she was supposed to be looking for me over there. I missed the whole thing where I step under and look out, and we kept going. And the more I kept going, I would hear like small moments where it sounded kind of loud, but nothing. It wasn't until we walked through and we practiced the kiss, I just heard everything go, and I was like, and I bent over. That's why I turned around and I just went, and I went to my seat, and I just didn't hear. I just remember hearing how loud it was for a little bit, and it wasn't nowhere near a packed house, and I was like. It took me that long to get that chair, and you guys were saying, no, it was that loud the entire time.
Yes.
I did not hear that.
It was, I believe it was. I mean, for literally everyone backstage to just get on the floor to look at what's going on, it had to have been loud.
Oh, I was like, bro.
I tried doing it, and I was like,
then when, like, the loudest, I finally heard how loud it was when I did my bow.
Yeah,
because it got loud, but you could tell who they liked, who really liked them, because they were like, when Zoya walked down and did her singing performance, they went nuts. When Spencer did that, it was like loud, but it wasn't as loud as the other one. Grindel goes up, it's loud. I get out there, it's loud as shit, and I'm like, yo!
People just loved Bill.
I was, bro,
like,
both, but like even when, like, but when I remember when like in the main show, and I said, Daniel, I need more from you. I said,
yeah, when you said that, I was like,
I said, give
got
me,
you.
because Avi got mad at me when I said that, and I was like, give me, I need more.
Avi got mad when you said that?
Because that's why he said you're doing fine, because he was getting annoyed that I was giving you notes, because we're not supposed to give each other notes. If we're
I don't even remember Avi ever telling me I was doing fine.
He was like, Daniel, you're doing great, Daniel. It was the end of the one. You could hear his voice. He was kind of upset that because he kept looking at me over, and I kept saying like, you're doing good. But I need
do it better.
I was just like, bro, be bigger. Make this as ridiculous as humanly possible. And when I finally heard how loud that crowd was that final night, I was like,
dude, like,
look, I saw your shadow run, and I heard them get big, and I was like, he got it. He got it right there.
What was going through my brain, like when you said that, I was like, I'm doing bad.
I didn't say you were doing.
Fuck no.
I didn't even say you were doing bad. Like, I didn't say you were doing bad.
It was coming through my head. I probably Jesus, I phrased it incorrectly.
Yeah.
But like what was going through my head was like, for real.
Yeah, because
people are not what.
Because I was
well, that shit's not happening.
Because I was keeping it. Because I was trying to keep it real. Because I was like, for me, it was like I kept getting texts in the middle of the show from friends where they were like, "Bro, you should have been the main guy," and I'm like, "No, I shouldn't have." And I'm like, I think going back at it now, if we did it back then, I think it would have been close, but I still think we would have given it to you, and I think it would have been funny in that case. But I was like, bro, that's why I kept like, bro, you need to show these niggas why you hit. Like, no. I'm like, I need, like, whatever the fuck Creon was, I need that in a stupid form as Bill. I need that.
That's the
and you
odd
gave
thing
me that
too.
at the end, and I was
that's
like...
the odd thing, too. I was like, going from...
Yeah.
Like, overall, this entire year, the only show that I actually tried my best for was Antigone. Because, like, for the longest time, I wanted to do a serious show. And I was like, yeah, I've been a comedic character this entire time. Can I go off serious, please?
Yeah, that was a dope.
And then I got Creon. I was like, yep, that's what I wanted.
And then you did it. But remember when I said that you went out there and you had that place bumping, like that packed house, and that bitch was, niggas was jumping, and that was packed, and then people was like jumping out there. I was like, yes, this is what I wanted, like that.
And then comes the bows. I'm not sure. Might sound egotistical, but I don't care. I was sure, but not sure, that I had the most cheers for
it was the most until it got to Hannah, because she was the understudy that stepped up because Audrey got sick.
Hot my daughter.
Yeah,
we made a joke about that where it was like,
it's definitely
if she can roll her R's, she's my daughter. She's a brunette. If she can roll them R's,
dude,
she's my daughter.
But no, I will say all in all, like in all of its critiques and all this, it was a fun. It was you making that, watching you make that crowd go insane, is what made me wish I was the main guy. Because if I could replicate that understudy one I did, or the dress rehearsal before that, when I asked Harris what should I do different, she said change nothing, in front of a packed house.
Shit, she said that?
When the dress rehearsal right before the understudy run, when I did that, I heard her more then than I heard the crowd. Because I just heard her laughing incredibly, like
she is so loud.
It's so, but I love it because I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right. It would be I'd be walking through it, and I hit every move perfectly. I hit every spot. I did everything.
I'm so sure,
and I nailed it.
I wish I saw it.
And some people said they were looking through, and Sylvia said I was like, I did really good, and I was like, thank you. I didn't know if I did good or not, and like. I go up to her and I said, what, in terms of performance, what about the Bill scene specifically? What she was like, that was great.
Nothing.
Change nothing. And I was like, I told Ava that because she was worried about it too. I said, we're good. Because she was on top of it so well, too. I was surprised because we didn't run that at all. That was the thing, too. I was like, that was another thing, too.
Shit happens.
Because the understudies always got, like, one chance at it.
It would always just be.
And then that would be it. It was, I'm like, that's an interesting philosophy.
Which was then interesting how, like, Harris...
Which I'm impressed with you. I'm impressed with you. I'm impressed with you a lot. Because you had to do... You were a main role, and then you had to be an understudy for another main role dad.
And it was like...
And he was the main dad of the entire story. So I was very impressed. But again, goes back to the preparation. When I'm up there reciting other people's lines... So much so that I might as well be the fucking dramaturg. That it's a problem.
You should have just.
That's the problem. Like,
thing was, even during like show, and I'll mention this because even Jeffrey knows this. Like, every time during show, and I'm sure you guys backstage knew it too. Like, he would either be very late during.
Thank you for the music.
Yeah.
That one's.
And then I'm over here. And I'm sure some audience members close up could see it and could tell, but I was like, and then trying to get him onto it so it could be good. And then even the third final show when like Hannah didn't know a whole lot, I was like,
yeah, no, that's it. But that part I'm okay with though in terms of that. But like with Jeffrey, that whole spot was just so hard to hit. That I don't even blame him because that was such a hard spot to get on time, especially when you're not really playing the guitar, and we have to wait on them to cue the music and then the pauses of just like I got it in my head, like I could do it, like if I was in the moment I could have done it, but I was like in my head too, honestly. With them I was like I'm not even mad at that. I understand that because they would be like because they would either be what would life be or what would life be, and then we have to jump 2 sentences, so I would understand that, but. Yeah. All in all, like I enjoyed the experience because the ones that were actually really cool, like I said, you, Jay, Graham was a big help. I will say this that as funny as ridiculous some of y'all are, I was impressed with the maturity of the group. Like I thought Hannah, on certain levels, I was very impressed because when I come over, I thought Graham was a senior.
Nope.
I thought Hannah was like either a junior or a senior because in terms of just like. How they're able to run things and sort of stuff. Like I was very impressed. I was very impressed. I was very impressed with that maturity on that level. I just think once they honestly get out their fucking feelings, and they're just like, here's the end of the day, like, because when it comes down to it, if they say they want to pursue this in real life. If I'm the guy that's trying to draft the guy, I don't care about your feelings. I'm like, bro, do this role. You can't do it, and you're mad about that I gave you the critiques. Go ahead and leave. I'll find someone else who will do it just as much, if not better.
That's why, personally, whenever it comes to, like, even Harris saying, like, generally you don't give other actors notes, I'm like...
Yes and no.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, if one actor gives another actor a note, sure, I guess.
I think it
but
depends.
like even like I think it depends too. Like it's just like if
I
one
agree with
person
her,
has
but
an
it depends.
idea and then like it plays out better, then it's like okay,
Thank
then
you.
it shouldn't be the worst thing. Thank you for the note.
Because
Like,
again,
I don't ever.
Because even the
I
role
don't
of
ever
like
care,
acting captain, Avi was never there to give notes, and nobody really listened to Fiona.
No.
So
That was
it was
another
like-
issue too. Like no one really
No one
listened to her. And
But
it
it
was like,
goes back to no one had that leadership of assertiveness. No one had, like the amount of times like they had to yell for people to shut up, all that stuff, and like even like to get stuff moving, and people didn't do it. I'm like, bro.
I think I stepped in a few times to like tell people to shut up. But I'm
No,
not sure.
when you finally yelled is when niggas shut up. But no one out the gate can just be like, "Yo, we need to do this, that, and the other."
If it wasn't Harris, then it was like if it wasn't Harris or Bernie,
yeah.
then it's like okay, since I'm like probably the loudest motherfucker, then I'll just shut up.
Because I think because Bernie's method is just so like passive aggressive that's instilled in the program, and I hate passive aggression. Like I hate it. I'm like, bro, if you got a problem with me, say it. If you gonna be a bitch about it, then just don't even waste your time. But if you got an issue with me, like I swear to God, if this gets put out, and Avi comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, I don't like how you did this, and talks about it. It's a conversation. I respect that so much more than if he would like, he hurt my feelings. I'm gonna go tell my other friends, and then we're gonna talk about him, or we're gonna go tell everybody else that he's the this, that, and the other, and he's not even that good, or we're gonna go tell Harris, and then Harris has to kind of talk around your name and kind of talk in an ambiguity about the situation. I'm like,
that's
no.
the funny part too, especially.
I hated that. I'm like, bro, just like what happened?
All right, story time with that about Harris and Avi. I believe I told you.
This will be like the last story that we gotta wrap it up. So tell the story.
Yeah, okay. So last year, and I think even a year before that, like when she came into the department, the current people in theater didn't really like her. But that was obviously because they were so used to the previous director. I understand that they didn't really want to even change.
Yeah.
So then come after Chicago, Banquet, which we should be having this year too.
Are we gonna?
Yeah, we should. I just don't know. I just don't know
on that.
I just don't know.
Band and orchestra haven't done theirs either.
I just don't recall when or where it's gonna happen. I just know that we're gonna have a banquet.
Okay.
So yeah, it's either a week or two before the No, it was a week before the banquet. And to those who generally don't know what a banquet is, it's just award ceremony and just time to basically hang out with people you've basically worked with. There's two seniors that come into the Chicago group me, or just one of the group me's of either the thespians or the theater department in general, whatever, and they're basically saying, hey, if anyone has had any recent issues with like Harris or anything, please talk to us or some crap like that. And they were being very, like, not too cryptic about it, but they weren't giving us enough information to where we knew what the fuck what was going on. So I asked one of them personally, hey, what is going on? And they just told me, if it doesn't concern you, don't worry. I'm sorry.
You can't do that.
I'm sorry.
You can't do that.
If it's concerning my theater director, I think it concerns all of us.
It's
Wouldn't you, like...
But again, situations like that, it just makes no sense because like you said, Avi was like the one who was kind of campaigning for her to get rid of, right?
And I don't know the full story on that part. Yeah. All I've just been told and explained to was that there have been times where Harris would be more on his ass, on top of his ass, which I guess to his sensitive ass, sorry not sorry, Avi, was like concerning or a problem. And so him and the other seniors at the time, I don't know which seniors because they never really, no one ever expressed which seniors it was. We just knew it was the seniors at the time. Mm-hmm. And like they all campaigned for this, and like this is happening a week or just a couple of days before we're all supposed to go in together in dresses and suits and shit, eat some fancy food, and then have some award ceremony and these are the shows that are going to come up next year, and we're having this situation happen.
I don't know. Those I will give. I mean, it's tough. Those ones situations are tough, and I will give Avi the benefit of the doubt because I said we don't know the full story. If she was to do something like that, then he's all right to be upset. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt if that was the case. If it wasn't the case and he's just being sensitive about it, then
I honestly think
that and all the seniors in general were just looking for an excuse to get rid of her. They kind of need to grow the hell up because at the end of the day, there have been times where we're like in band, at like in the middle of this year, where I was so highly pissed with how Everhart was running the program. Was it this season? I don't know if it was this season or last season, but I want to say it was this season. Yeah, it was this season because it was like, because Everhart has has an ego. Right.
Oh, really?
He has a big ego.
I don't know.
And because he holds himself to a high standard, he holds us to a high standard, which I'm fine with that. That's not my issue with
Makes sense a lot.
My issue with him at times is that he would so stress highly how, like, our opinions didn't matter. And he would do that a lot at the beginning of his years. And I'm like, bro, you wonder why these people don't like you because you're not humanizing yourself. You keep saying, yeah, I'm asking you this, but your opinion really doesn't matter. We're going to do this anyways, this, and the other. So one of our practices, he's, like, getting on to us. And we were like, us on the field, we're kind of just like, hey, yo, Maggie. This is not a slight at Maggie if you see this. It's not a slight at you, bro. This is just what happened, bro. Right? She kept messing up conducting.
Okay. And
we were like, hey, yo, she keeps dragging her, but like because she's not doing in time, we mess up. He's on that giant tower right in front of her. He's saying that we're not doing anything right. We're yelling at us. We're like, it's her. Like, it's also her. Like, get onto her. Never did. And he kept doing that. And Maggie kind of got mad at me because me and Low Brass, I'm very vocal. I'm over there just like, bro, this is some bullshit. So we finally get into, so Maggie decides upon herself to call a meeting with all leadership.
All right.
To talk about, like, all the, like, because how openly we're just, like, as leadership, pissed that we're just like, this is some fucking bullshit. When this show is ass because of his ego, blame him, not me.
Damn.
So we get in the room and we're like, I'm annoyed, and Maggie's like trying to be like, what's wrong? Like talk about it. We're just like specific situations. Like, again, he wants us to watch the drum majors, but we're facing the opposite direction of backfield. So, right, so Maggie was like, so just watch it. And we're just like, yeah, guys, just watch. You're only, like, facing the opposite way. So that whole meeting, we were mad. So that we all got out of there, and I was so pissed. I was like, bro. I wrote a whole, like, a damn near Declaration of Independence about, like articulate anger.
Bro.
Oh, bro. Let me see if I have it still. I feel like I should.
It's wild.
But, like, I was so mad. I got on my Snapchat and went on a whole rant about it. And I was just like, he will single-handedly bury this program if he doesn't check his ego. I swear to God, you will not have a band next year if he doesn't tighten up. But the reason I bring up that story is that it never reached a point where we were all just like, get rid of him.
Okay.
We were just like, bro, he's being a hard ass. He's being like that. We don't like that about him, but we're never gonna just say, get rid of him, because he still puts out of quality. I think when you do that, that's such a grand overreaction with such grand consequences. I think that's that's a lack of maturity on that part.
It was very immature, especially like, at least with our situation, literally the lower classmen, like we all stressed with Harris, and most of the time we stressed because of Harris, but like even then, we just came to accept that like this is just how she does shit. Sometimes we just have to get better and just do what we need to do with it. And like it never got to the point where at least me and like other lower classmen were like, yeah, nah, get her out. We were just like, yeah, she stresses us, and like sometimes we don't like the shit that she does, but like we'd rather have her over anybody else. That's what, like, because she, like, even comparing Harris and Mr. Everhart, at least in that sense of what you mentioned about humanizing and ego,
she does
like
really
she
well.
Doesn't really have a lot of that.
No, she humanizes
like
herself really well though.
Like she has the humanizing part.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. She doesn't have a big ego.
Yeah.
Like there have been times where she will just shit on herself. No offense, Miss Harris. But like there have been times where like I've heard her like just shit on herself, and it's like, oh
no, Harris will be like, that's the thing. I think like they're both kind of the same. There's the same. Those are like the parallels between Everhart and Harris are like they're the same person damn near. She's just her baseline is just so much nicer. But like her dragon lady, that's just Everhart when he's mad. They have the like when she got mad one day in Fundamentals of Theater, it's the exact same way Everhart gets mad. She talks, and the more she talks, the angrier she gets. The angrier she gets, the more she talks. And it just is this thing that she builds up. And Everhart's the exact same way. And I respect them both. I love them both. I think they're both great. Like I said, they both have their own things. And I think it was just interesting to come over from that program to this one and just kind of see that the differences. Because, oh no, I think in terms of theater, what y'all do better than band is when y'all know each other. Y'all know each other.
Oh,
y'all know each other.
Like
I'm not saying that's not the case in band, but there's a lot of people that I'm friends with a lot, and our friendship is close because we're in band, and then outside of that, we don't talk.
Yeah.
But when y'all are in theater, y'all move y'all like it's better now because if you're not like a band kid, that doesn't work. Like me not being a band kid, and I barely ate lunch with them. I'm close with all of them. They're all my homies, but we don't talk outside of that much. Yeah. It was when I finally started to sit with them, then I talked more with them. It's very few. Like I think I talked to Nail, Henry at times, and then Sammy recently, and then Zach. And other than that, I don't really speak to many people outside of that band class or outside of marching band and that stuff. But with y'all have a close. As funny as it's so weird. As much as y'all don't work as well as a team together.
Oh my god.
Y'all have such a close knit family, and you're so emotionally invested in each other.
Like,
it's beautiful.
It's so interesting, especially that you mentioned that, like, because you are not wrong.
Yeah,
you are not wrong. I agree with that 100%. Like, literally the Snapchat group we have.
Yeah,
off of the Mamma Mia cast. I don't ever look at it because I'm like,
bro, what's even the
point of me personally going into it when nobody gives a shit?
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm the one senior that they probably aren't going to care about when I
come back. Dude, if I'm in there, they care about you more than they care about me because I'll be in there just reading. The only time I talked,
that's all I ever do.
The only time I talked was when Graham was like he was in a weird headspace, and I was just trying to talk to him. Me and Alan were. Besides that, I don't speak in there. But like the close knit family and connection y'all have is like it's like I like that and I appreciate that. And I think when they're not on their ego trip and the people who have welcomed me into this, it was like you, Sylvia. Jay, we didn't talk much during the show. Towards the end, we talked more.
Especially since he got comfortable with that.
Yeah, Delaney.
Oh, Delaney. Yeah.
Graham was a big help. Hannah, I always feel like she just didn't like me. I'm gonna keep it real. I feel like she did. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like she got cooler with me towards the end.
I'm sure there was nothing personal.
I don't think it was. I don't. Even if it was, I'm not taking it personal.
She's also more of like, if it's not Graham, then it's. Like with anyone, it'd probably just be work.
Yeah.
Or like if it's not Graham, Sylvia, or anyone in that sense,
we got cooler towards the end. But the people were then Megan, obviously, and then obviously Alan I knew before he came in.
I was surprised he even came in.
He just came in because I told him for a while that we need help building stuff.
And then,
that's like all our help. Big moments of our help came from me.
And then Harris was just like, "Yeah, this is fine, whatever." I'm like,
"Yeah," because Sammy showed up because he was back there waiting for a ride, and I told him, and I said, "Come join me, come help with this, down, and third." So I was like, "Bro, I'm giving you help right now." So, but yeah, I love that close knit family that they have. They be in their own world sometimes, and they be on some shh.
Oh my god!
Hey, y'all be on some shit, but I'd be lying outside I didn't have a blast, and if I could, I would do it again.
Honestly.
After all the good pros and cons of talking about it, this thing is like over half an hour of the time. I usually keep it under an hour, but it's all good.
If it's unedited,
yeah, like, I'm letting it run because I think just talking about that full experience, and I feel like it made more sense to talk about it with you because someone who was in this and you were kind of like you were in this. This is kind of my first year. We're both seniors. It makes sense to hear the two sides of someone who is new and someone who just knows what it is because the ins and out of that I didn't really know. I
will say the cast bonding parties are usually just...
They're fun.
That's literally how it goes.
They were fun. Those were fun, but it was just also just...
Those were honestly, like, when it came to... Like, last year, when it came to... because then last year, Ava became thespian president. And, like, we were all... Or, like, me, her, and Charlie. We were all like... Yeah, we did cast parties for Chicago, and that's how we connected for that show. Because for Alice, I still barely knew anybody in that show.
We didn't do anything
for directly, like... And we didn't do anything for Charlie either.
We didn't do anything for Charlie.
And even then, it wasn't... We weren't that linked unless you knew people from beforehand. And I knew nearly everyone beforehand.
Like, and we didn't really do a real cast. Like, I feel like, because we did our cast bonding parties. We did one at the end, when we did two during.
That one was a surprise.
I
was not expecting that. I was like,
but shout out to Jack though. Shout out to that man because he's.
Jack, we're sorry, but all the parties and all the disasters that happened there. Like,
Jack, you are a angel from whatever deity exists. May God.
even with
shout out to Jack.
Even with how fucked up your mind can be.
Right. Oh,
like
he said that.
I tell you that every day. I tell him that every day.
Shout out to him though, because he really puts up with that shit.
Oh my god! The fact he and his family still put up with it. Like I couldn't even tell that his parents were like.
Yeah,
my
that's
god,
just like, bro. But
they still had it. And they still had more parties.
All in all, though, those are a good group of kids. Those are really. I think they each got their own stuff. So like Allie,
they got their own shit that's going on.
Allie is a hot mess, and I love her. She's a mess, and I love her. She's ridiculous. It's all of them. They're just so ridiculous, but they're all just wild in their own. They're all wild in their own weird ways, but they all have such a close knit connection that I really wish band had more to a certain extent because we have those connections, but not as a grand like you're like we had like that moment where we were all having the senior dedication. And you're all crying. You guys were all crying. And they're all crying.
I'm like, no, come on.
Bro, we had that moment towards the end of marching band that they were all just bawling their eyes out because that was our moment. Our moment was marching band.
Damn.
But that showed me that I was like, okay, y'all care. But it was interesting because Delaney, I swear to God, Delaney has been on my ass. She's like, please stay, bro. No, I'm not staying here.
It's funny because like everyone, like I'm gonna try not being egotistical about it because like I do fucking love the attention. I'm like, please give me the attention. But I don't actually go out of my way.
Yeah, it's good to feel appreciated. I will say like when Abby said that she dedicated to me, I was like, wow. I took that out like a lot because I was like, because she hated me for like a month, which goes back to the band thing. She hated me because. They kept yelling at brass, and she's part of the trumpets. And I said, okay, I'm gonna make these run laps. Whoever, and I told all the section leaders, whoever doesn't deserve it, you pull them out of there. Because if they ain't out that line, I'm gonna make them run. Zach forgot to pull her out. You know, I was telling, and after I cussed them out, like y'all are talking, y'all don't know how to do the job, go run these laps. Abby was never pulled out, and so she ran. So she just like. Hated me for like a month, and then we got cool through theater, and
I saw that a few times.
So with her, and then when y'all made Ulta cry, I was like,
yeah, that whole prayer circle. Like,
Marissa exploded on the floor.
First one to go down. I'm like,
Marissa just I don't know what happened. Okay. I don't even know what happened. It got to like Cooper, and then she just. And I was like,
Oh, well, okay.
And then the whole room, and then they were collecting each other out. We was chilling. It gets over to Ota. Ota says, "I want to dedicate to Lou and Michael," and then he just covers his face like a small child. And they're like, "Oh!"
It's like, no, our best has fallen.
No, I was like, God damn it, Ota. We love him. I was like, God damn it.
Boy. I'm holding that in until the
bro. I don't know, but again, being that passionate about it, I respect that. Yeah, and then even like Franny, Fiona, Jay, all of them that really just were cool with me and made that and welcomed me to that. I'll never forget that, and I appreciate them, even if I don't say their name on here. Like,
I'll miss them. I'll miss them.
I will say I will. I'm happy I showed up when I did, because I feel like I wouldn't have been able to enjoy it, because I wouldn't have been able to come with the understanding of a show like I did. But I do. If I had another run at it, I would do it again.
Definitely.
With the knowledge I know now, if I couldn't, I would do it again, all over again. Because honestly, I wasn't in the chaos. I was never stressed that much. I was just very understanding of like that's probably not going to get done in time. So if you guys are yelling at me for that, that's not my job. Also, y'all owe me because I saved y'all's life. When I already told the story when I was on Ota's podcast. When I saved this guy, Lou, Ota, who else? Who else was in there? Who else was in here? French. Yep, all of them. I saved them. When I got 200 pounds of wood, fell on me, and Miss Harris had to call my mom and be like, "Yeah, you're Hulk of a son." If it was anybody else, they would have died. Like. Oh my god, that was funny. That was funny. I was like, well, what a way to make
that whole fucking situation.
Yeah, because before that, the one time like Megan and Hannah were obsessed with the fact that they were like trying to pull two metal bars apart for like 10 minutes. They called me over. I'm just like, push the button in. And they're just like, they just felt so embarrassed. No, they said that. And Harris was just like, yeah, they talked about it for like 2 days straight. It was like
2 days?
No, Harris was just like, yeah, they keep mentioning that. Like, they're like really embarrassed about it. I was like, hey man, I'm like triple y'all size. It's okay.
Bro. Oh my God.
But like, no, there's so many moments and so many stuff that I'm definitely glad that Harris made me try out for that stuff. And I'm happy that besides all the shit that I say and all the jokes I crack about acting levels, as people, they're all good people. Even like, I'll even say it here. Like I said, I can't speak for you. You knew him more than me. So I'm going to say it here for me. Even Avi, Cammy, they ain't bad people. They ain't bad people.
For the most part.
They're not bad people.
Like when they
I think it's the same thing that we're all doing in life in general. We're all trying to figure shit out. We're all figuring shit out. And people have their own ways. Some people are more asshole than others. It's just what things are. I never held it personally. Like Cammy, like I said, we was cool. Avi, but even though when I yelled at you, bro, I got no hard feelings towards that, bro.
Yeah, as much as I will say that
so
I don't like him in theater, like I at least respect him as a person.
Yeah, and that's it. And I think I think once we do that,
which is also why I don't say shit to him, because I'm like, it wouldn't even really matter.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not that.
So it's just like, it's not a big of a deal to me. Like if he's yelling at me for fucking octaves, like whatever, I'm gonna do the job that I'm gonna do, and I did. Whatever.
We all put on the show, and I think from the reactions we got, from a lot of people, messages I got from people, and on y'all's performances, and even the understudy runs and all that.
Yeah.
They did. It was a good show. It was a pretty solid show. It was a pretty solid show, and I feel like that's something that they can look back and be proud of, and I'm more happy about the moments after than it was the actual show, because in the grand scheme of things, it's one thing, and I think at the end of the day, as long as they don't lose that connection and they do what they love to do,
shit, they probably won't with how many.
Good. I hope they don't. And I hope they don't. Whatever personal things go on in their lives, whoever it be, I hope that they never lose that passion, because art makes the world go round. It really does. I think it's one of those things that people will disrespect at a young age, and they'll be like, it's not a real job, or it's not really this, that, and the other, but then we'll go bump some music in the car, or we'll then go watch a movie. It's those things that it's an entertainment, and when you do that so well, and you do it for the love of doing it, and you don't lose that wonder of it, I think may God be with you, because I think it's a beautiful thing, and that's where you get the most purest connection of moments. That's where you get friendships that you never thought would happen.
Dude,
to moments like,
honestly,
bro, Steak and Shake was the funnest. That was the most fun I ever had in such a long time.
Just like
after those were that was the
most
fun I've ever had in years. Like ever. Like I've never had that much fun in like such a long time. Like with the Steak and Shake, we was on the parking lot doing just chilling.
just
in the pool.
People.
Never had that much fun in my life. Like
oh my god, that pool party.
That pool party for like years. In like years, I've never laughed that hard in my life. And I was like, so I really do value that. So I was like, all semantics, all show beef aside. End of the day, y'all are all cool people. The apartment, like I said, I hope they continue to do what they do. To all the leadership for them next year, they won't see this. But if they do see this,
if somehow
y'all come across this and you reach this far of an hour 40 and haven't reprimanded us to the office yet, God bless you. Subscribe. And may God be with y'all. And shout out to all the people who do theater, because that's that job. As much as for me, it felt pretty simple because I understood for part of the show, it's not an easy job. And shout out to Lou for the sets.
Yes. Oh my god.
Because
that girl clutched
that was a hefty task, and how she did it. I was very impressed with that, and she did a really good job. So shout out to Lou for the set design. Shout out to everybody involved, but she needs special shout out for that, because those sets look good. Because even the crowd said, no matter regardless of the performances, the sets look great.
The set looked
the sets and props look great. Shout out to Ray. Shout out to all of them.
All the tech people, because
and shout out to Harris, man. Even though you leaving with us, I understand why.
The reasons make sense.
Yeah.
Reasons make sense. I'm like, when she said it, I was like, I'm sad and disappointed, but this makes logical sense.
Yeah, no, I talked to her after because they told the group chat, and I was like, oh shit. So I caught her in the hallway, and I was like, damn, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was just like, that makes sense. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I was like, well, you leave it with us, I guess. I was like, but yeah.
I don't know, the class of 2023, I'm just gonna be honest, we a little retarded. like the time we were supposed to all take a photo as class of 2023, so many people weren't paying attention. So many people were doing something different.
Y'all all got ADHD, man.
Our class is just so like.
Y'all all have ADHD.
We on something.
Y'all have some ADD. Y'all got something, man.
I was just sitting there. I'm just waiting. I'm like, bro. I'm just gonna pull up. I'm just gonna pull up the bird and just not give a shit. Whatever.
But I think it was good. I think it was a fun time, and I think it was worth the experience.
It was the most crying I've seen out of a cast.
Oh no, they was
like Chicago.
Like Franny and Jay specifically were just like, is there between like crying and like being like crying and stuff? When I talk about sobbing without no inaudible words, that was them. Like I made Jay. Jay talks about it still. I made it so worse. Like he was crying, and I hugged him, and I just said, just know that I am very proud of you, and be proud of you.
No, you made it worse. You made it worse.
I didn't mean to. I was like, I told from the bottom of my heart, I was like, bro, real shit. I'm very proud of you. Be proud of who you are, and keep doing what you're doing.
Shit.
And I mean that. I told him that after when he wasn't crying. I was like, I wish we were closer sooner. And I'm like, look, man, things happen. At the end of the day, I meant what I said. I'm very proud of who you are as an actor. I'm proud of who you are as a person. And at the end of the day, no matter where you go, keep being you. You're gonna be alright. Trust me, things gonna work out. It'll be alright. And that destroyed him. To be fair,
it wasn't. I say wrong timing. It wasn't even wrong at all. That probably wasn't the best thing you could have said.
But the thing is, I say that stuff to like the man kids too, and they'll start breaking down. I don't know what. I think just whenever because I don't know. I never plan anything I say. I kind of just
like it just pops out.
Yeah, I just say how I feel about said person. When we got robbed out of the final competition and everybody was crying, I was just like, man, at the end of the day, be proud of the moments of what came out of it. You had a fun time. You made connections. And all. Trophy shit don't matter. I could buy one off of eBay. That shit don't matter. Real talk. Like that shit's gonna stay. That shit's gonna stay in a case for 10 years, and it's gonna get replaced by more hardware.
That's true.
It's the moments.
Very true.
It's the moments that you create with each other that last forever.
That's the award.
And that's what's really like that. Like that's what truly will stand the test of time. And as long as you do that, you'll be fine. You guys have all been great. And I say that too. Yeah. I say that to Beckers, and I say it to the theater kids. Like, you guys have been Y'all been awesome.
I mean, I was even...
And I will say, Daniel, there is no one else I'd rather be an understudy for than you. I swear to God. I swear to God. I say that right. I truly mean that.
I appreciate it.
I mean that.
I mean, I'm glad we even like got to like speak more during the show. Like through
the last time we spoke
middle
was
school,
at
Noah's ceremony.
Yeah, that was the last time we spoke.
And like that was the last time I actually remember being at least in the same room speaking with you. Or like the same place speaking with you. Because like before then, I've seen you before and like talked before, but like it was never like that. And then like Noah's ceremony was whatever, and then come this show, it was like, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that it was, so I think all in all it was definitely worth it. Anything you have to say to the camera before we sign off, because we're about to preach 2 hours.
Shit. All I'll say is that it's kind of sad we didn't get to New Orleans, but whatever.
If you want a part 2, we'll talk about New Orleans.
All I'd say for that is just like, because most of the people from the cast and crew of Mamma Mia then were a part of that trip, like to make it more sad, I guess.
If y'all want a part 2, well, this is how we make content. If y'all want part 2, if y'all want another episode where we talk about the New Orleans trip, because that's a whole thing in itself.
God, that's a whole.
We will do it. Just
that's a whole other thing.
So yeah, we will do that. That will be done. But yeah, we'll save that.
Yeah, that's general. Yeah,
that's really. There'll be a link. Daniel does YouTube as well, and
I've never like consistent with it.
It's fine. He's also heading. Him and one other chick is heading of a project that I'm voice acting.
That he's voicing.
Yes. So more stuff will be about that. The link to his Instagram and his YouTube will be down below. Be sure to go check him out. He's awesome people. That being said, this is another episode of the Smorgasbord Podcast. Longer than usual. Sorry, but to be fair, it's been 2 months since I uploaded. I got a lot of shit to say.
Might as well just make content.
Right. I've been consistent that way, but not like in terms of podcast episodes. More coming soon. Stay safe. Love y'all. Bye bye.